Hello, beautiful soul. So today I want to continue with the series about Chiron, the wounded healer. And today we're going to continue with Chiron in Cancer in the fourth house, as in Cancer. The fourth house is ruled by Cancer. So we're going to continue with that idea of what is the wounded healer? What does it represent? We have done the introduction to the video series. So you will want to see the introduction if you need to see that about what is the wounded healer? Where does it come from? What does it represent? All of that. Today, I want to focus solely on Chiron in Cancer. So the fourth house here is rules the home and stability family, right? So when you think about family, generational ancestors, stability of what it means to have a foundation, also thinking about the bigger, deeper wounds here with abandonment issues and rejection issues, because when you think about the wounds that come with having a stable home and family, a lot of the time it's going to be associated with the wounded healer that is dealing with abandonment issues and rejection issues for many, many lifetimes, not just this one. Normally, the wounds reactivate in childhood here or later in life, mostly in childhood, but it comes from many, many, many different experiences that the soul has experienced in many different realities. So consider the wounds as something that becomes so deep within you because it has been coming for multiple lifetimes. So the people with Chiron in Cancer as the wounded healer in Cancer may tend to seen as the black sheep of the family. They may have huge issues with belonging, feeling accepted, feeling like they need to be on a constant move from one place to another in order to avoid some of the feelings of feeling insecure, of not knowing where they belong, not feeling accepted, feeling like I have to leave before something happens and then I'm going to feel bad about myself. So they tend to move from one place to another or move on in relationships or stay too long in relationships because they either have attachment issues where they stay in relationships that they know they shouldn't stay, or they stay too long because they're afraid of moving on. So when you consider these situations, whether it relates to family or romantic relationships or friendships, where someone may stay in a friendship just because they are afraid that they're not going to have another friend. So they might put up with things that they wouldn't normally put up with. So, or stay in jobs that they don't want to just because they're afraid of the unknown, or may move from job to job really quickly because they want to get out before something bad happens. So there is a sense of before I get rejected, before X, Y, and Z happen, I want to be the one to go. So these people are very much like, when you think about Cancer, it's a water sign. It's not only a water sign, but it's a cardinal sign. So when you think about the water energy, it has obviously a lot of, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So you have a lot of deep passion feelings within you, deep feelings where it hurts sometimes and you don't even know where it hurts from. Like you are in pain, but you don't know why you're in pain. So consciously or unconsciously, there are things happening where you're feeling like your heart is aching, and it may be coming from childhood situations or past life situations. So these people are very sensitive. When you think about people with Cancer, they're very sensitive, similar to Scorpio and Pisces. They're very sensitive. They super empathic, super like their sensitivity also to the unknown is a blessing, but sometimes it can feel like a curse because they have a heightened sense of sensitivity that other people might see as a negative, especially if they're not in alignment. So you want to be conscious of that. You want to allow yourself to experience what you're feeling without letting it get to the best of you. So these people have a lot of heart energy, and because they're water, they also have a lot of throat energy. So when you think about the things that we have spoken about in the past with the Chiron series and the Wounded Healer, you want to see also the other conversations that I had about these signs, because there might be clues there for you, especially when you look at the water signs, you will also want to look at the other videos that are coming up for Scorpio and Pisces, because they will give you more ideas about who you are too, because with the water energy, you have some of the same characteristics that Scorpio and Pisces have. So just consider that for a second as we continue to move on. So when you're thinking about Chiron in Cancer, we're talking about home life, right? But also it's like there is a deep void that you just don't know where it comes from. And you feel like something is like a black hole and you have no idea where is it coming from. So consider the triggers, consider childhood. Maybe siblings were not nice to you. Maybe parents were always working, so you felt abandoned, alone, rejected, and it was simply because they were working, and that activated a wound from past lives. Or maybe even your younger self going through middle school and feeling like you were just weird, feeling like you're the only one in the family that is a hippie or something, like a rever, or like some energy that is not in alignment with the rest of the family, because you come to do something different for the family, but the way it might appear is that you're being difficult. So the issues here with Chiron in Cancer is that it can lead to a lot of over attachments, because you might have you might feel so comfortable with someone that when you attach to them, it's hard to let them go. So you might stick around for something that is not for your highest good, just because you're afraid of letting it go, or completely avoiding the attachment. So, when you think about those things, you want to think about, like, am I being overly or avoiding attachments? Because those people with Chiron in Cancer are going to have a lot of these issues. It's almost like in their DNA. So there is a lot of feelings of feeling weird, feeling they're not normal, feeling like there is a part of them that is a little child that is wounded, that is still in pain, that is suffering. I see somebody like even bleeding, like it just hurts so deep within your heart. That is, my goodness. So for those people that are out of balance and have the wounded healer in Cancer, they're going to feel, they're just going to have so much deep feelings, and they're going to have issues letting go of people or allowing people in, because it's either or, right? There is no balance until you get to balance, until you get to work with your shadow self. So one of the things that tends to happen a lot with these people that have Chiron in Cancer is that they are, like I said, they're water signs, so they're going to pick up a lot of things that are happening with other people. Naturally, they're an empath, right? So when you think about these people, they have what the fourth house means and what they do. These people tend to be really good caretakers. They know how to take care of other people, but they might do it to their own detriment. So they might stay in relationships or taking care of seniors or taking care of parents or siblings or so on, just because they feel it's like that's the responsibility, even when it might not be, or when they're putting those people ahead of themselves, so they're not prioritizing themselves. So when you think about the things that you need to work with in regards to become balanced and heal your wounds, you will want to go through a series of reflection and contemplation to understand, when you go back, if you're having this issue still, when you go back to childhood or teenager years, what happened that caused those issues within the family, the home dynamics, right? Within yourself as well. Even some of these people may have been adopted because they have no sense of who they belong to. So, or they might be being raised by grandparents or aunts, uncles that they don't feel the connection to, because they're still longing for mom and dad. So you want to consider those things. So when you're trying to work on these things and heal so that you can help others, what you're going to realize also too is that everything that you have experienced is going to lead you to become this beautiful, powerful healer. And those people that have this Chiron Cancer are going to be dealing with situations where they can walk into a room and they can read the room, they can read the energy, they can be an empath. They have superpowers in regards to manifesting places and things. So they might be really good with financial situations that allows them to manifest really fast big things that other people might not be able to do. So helping people, whether it is with finding homes, places, businesses, manifesting what they want, working through the shadow self. Because carrying cancer, one of the stories is that Hercules had the 12 penance, and the 12 penance, each one was one thing that he had to overcome in order to get to the big goal, to do right by what he did wrong, because Hera did something to him, and Zeus had a lover. Hera found out, and what happened is that when she found out Hercules was born, and she kind of like sang a curse or something to Hercules and made him go crazy, so he killed his family. To pay for that, he went on this journey of the 12 penance, and each penance is like a journey of letting go of the ego, finding strength, inner strength, and all of that, right? So it's a representation of the spiritual awakening. So when you think about what Hercules did to get rid of the Hydra, Hera sent Hydra, but Hydra, this monster, this sea monster with 9 heads and so on, needed help. So she sent a giant crab, and this is what the crab constellation represents. And Hercules killed the crab. And what happened when he kills the crab, and Hera sent it to the sky to become a constellation? And one of the definitions of that I see it as is that the crab represented the shadow self that he needed to integrate to continue the journey, because first he had to find inner strength to go through the process of killing Hydra and the crab, right? So what happened is that in that process, he's not only reintegrating the dark shadow, what in shamanism we call the black wolf, right? Or the dark wolf. So when you find that dark wolf, which is the yang, the yin, right? You're uniting that energy of the yin and yang to become one, so that you're releasing the shadow to become one with you. And it's no longer an obstacle, it's something that can give you power and strength. So when you think about the crab energy and what it represents, it's representing the dark shadow, the shadow self that is within us, that we need to bring into unity, consciousness within us. We don't have to push it away. We have to figure out how to work with it in order to bring it into the light, to unite it with us so that we can be balanced, right? And again, Cancer has a lot of the moon energy, it's ruled by moon. So when you are uniting all of the power of that inner shadow self that is so powerful that it can take down anything, what you're doing is that you're letting go of the earthly desires, the ego, the pride, the greed, all of that stuff, and you're uniting and becoming one with yourself, right? So when you start working on healing others, you are doing the same thing for them. You're helping them bring the shadow aspects that they might think are obstacles, that they might think are things that they need to be afraid of, to bring it into balance so that it can become a power tool for them. Also, you might be helping people with family issues, family dynamics, healing those dynamics, right? So all of that you have gone through, you're also going to help your clients understand and heal through it, because it's part of your superpower. So not only are you super sensitive and super psychic, but you're also manifesting things that are real, that have like substance, right? So when you think about what you can do for other people, you're helping people work with the moon energy, work with the shadow energy, work with the dark mother archetypes, work with things that people are afraid of, because you bring a lot of that shadow aspect to work with, but you do it in a way that is beautiful and gracefully, that once you unite the yin and the yang, you become this goddess, right? So understanding that is key in order for you to know how you work with other people that you're going to be helping in this journey once you have healed your wounded healer. So I think that's all for this video. I'm going to leave it here. I think I tried to give you as much as I can, but I might be forgetting something. If you have any additional information, put it in the comments so other people can connect and learn from all of us. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.